Stalingrad City Center could have been taken right away if it were not for a handful of men. Had this been so, then the entire city could have been in German hands in a few days, just as was planned by the German command. So who were these men? And what units did they belong to? It's a well-known fact that General Rodimtsev's 13th Guards Division saved the day on September 14, 1942, as 6 armies' forward detachments were about to seize city center and the main Volga River crossings. But the division only began crossing over to Stalingrad at dusk, so that Paulus had almost a full day at his disposal in order to defeat Chuikov before Rodimtsev's men could arrive. The bulk of 62nd Army's forces were concentrated on the northern and southern parts of the city, yet between them there was almost nothing, and maybe the fate of the Battle of Stalingrad was contained there in this almost. This video is based on the usual primary sources as in the Stal Data book series, from German and Soviet archival documents, but also, and for the first time, on the very promising author Igor Kobyakov. My Russian colleague's studies are definitely the most investigative and the most accurate of all when it comes to the fighting in the streets of Stalingrad. His first book has just been released in Russia, and I'm working on English translation. With people like Igor, Brad, and Tik, we'll try and propose you the definitive Stalingrad studies and provide answers to many still pending questions. So let's see which German and Soviet units actually took part in the fighting inside the city of Stalingrad and its nearest outskirts. And let's have a look at the actual state on the eve of the first major assault on September 14, 1942. We already know that all Soviet units were severely depleted because they retreated to the Volga after 2 months of incredibly hard fighting in the Don River steppes. The only full-strength formation was the city garrison, the 10th NKVD Division, which was incorporated into 62nd Army just as the street fighting began. But what about German units? Let's consider 6th Army War Diary to understand what was the fighting readiness of the units engaged into the city and how the German command assessed the Soviet forces facing them. Since this is 6th Army, this means we won't have data for 48th Panzer Corps, which was yet part of 4th Panzer Army and which operated in the southern part of the city.
Report on the state of Wehrmacht divisions actually fighting in the city and its vicinity. Their attacking ability is limited by low complements of personnel. 51st Army Corps, 71st Infantry Division. Infantry, 8 weak battalions, all still 100% mobile. Artillery batteries, 9 light, 100% mobile, and 3 heavy, about 80% mobile. 1 engineer battalion exhausted, but still 100% mobile. The division is suitable for limited offensive tasks. The 295th Infantry Division. Infantry, 7 battalions, 2 medium, 3 exhausted, 2 weak, but all 100% mobile. Artillery batteries, 10 light, 3 heavy, and 2 mortar, all 100% mobile. 1 engineer battalion, exhausted, but also 100% mobile. The division is suitable for limited offensive tasks. The 389th Infantry Division. Infantry, 6 battalions, 1 medium, 3 exhausted, 2 weak, all still 100% mobile. Artillery batteries, 6 light, 3 heavy, and 2 light mortar, only 50% mobile. 1 engineer battalion exhausted, only about 60% mobile. The division is suitable for limited offensive tasks. 14th Panzer Corps, 16th Panzer Division, Infantry, 5 battalions, 3 medium, 2 exhausted, but still 100% mobile. 4 tank battalions, 6 light and 2 heavy artillery batteries, all 100% mobile. 1 engineer battalion exhausted but 100% mobile. The division is suitable for any offensive tasks. Intelligence on the enemy. Soviet troops actually fighting in the city area. South of Razgulayevka to the north of Gorodisha, remnants of the 112th, 315th and 399th Rifle Divisions, the 10th NKVD Division, the 2nd, 9th, 38th, 115th and 149th Motorized Rifle Brigades, the 42nd Rifle Brigade, the 6th Guards and 6th Tank Brigades.
These troops were defending the northern part of Stalingrad, that is, the industrial sector, that extends north of Mamayev Kurgan. This sector was managed by 23rd Tank Corps. There were also several other units not mentioned in the German report, either because they were not detected, but more probably because they were already virtually destroyed and in the process of reforming. The city center, where the command post of the 62nd Army and the main river crossing area were located, was virtually unprotected. The only defense consisted in the 272nd NKVD Rifle Regiment, deployed in the area of the Komsomol Garden, and the 28th Detachment of Tank Destroyer Dogs, which was deployed in the Grove by the Central Railway Station. In the ruins of the station itself and in the railway depot, a few men from the 84th Construction Battalion were hastily preparing firing points. In the area of the main river landing stage, also called Crossing Number 1, about 100 cadets from the Orjonikidze School and several men from the 79th Border Guards Regiment occupied hastily prepared defense positions. Another group of about 50 men from the NKVD troops was also deployed in the area of 9th January Square. An anti-aircraft armored train was running along the Volga coast. At river crossing number 2, several detachments from the 748th Anti-Aircraft Artillery Regiment were pointing their guns at the sky, which was soon to swarm with German bombers. And these were the only forces defending the center of the city. A few kilometers south, beyond the small Tsaritsa River, the situation was hardly better. "35th Guards Rifle Division, 244th Rifle Division, 10th Rifle Brigade, 271st NKVD Regiment, and 20th Motorized Rifle Brigade existed only in operational reports and maps. The actual number of troops was only a few hundred active bayonets, as the Red Army terminology puts it. The only mobile reserve consisted of the 133rd Tank Brigade, which consisted of 11 KV-1 heavy tanks. It was protecting the approaches to the grain elevator. These two cities, separated by the Tsaritsa River, were the targets of the first German offensive in the city.